Guys, it is dark on us. About ready to meet up with my buddy Steve-O. We are going to be doing some bike packing again. Yeah. It is going to be a little bit chilly. It was supposed to be only about a low of 50 degrees, but it's already colder. My car's saying it's 48. Not a huge difference, but it's a difference. So we're meeting at Shopco, not at Walmart this time. They have night stalkers here at Shopco, so we know that if we park our cars here, they're gonna be safe overnight. And since Steve has to work at 5 a.m., I'm gonna pack out with him because I wanna be able to meet up with my kids in the morning to go to the gym. So let's see if I can turn the camera around. I'm rolling up to him now. He's already got his bike out. Well, if you can even see any of that. So I'll bring you back in a moment. I'll show you guys my bike and my setup. He's ready to rock. All right. We are about ready to head out. Got my buddy, I got my buddy Steve with me. Check this out. Oh, I love that frame bag. Steve's bag is all ready to go. And what'd you say about your dirt today? You got dirt from what, 3 states on it?
Two or 3 states.
2 or 3 states on it. That's pretty cool. So I'm loaded up here. I've got my heavy cover canteen. You guys know I love that thing, so I try to rock that out as much as I can. Got that waist pack from my Molly 2 strapped to my handlebars. Other than that, it's pretty basic. I got a dry bag in there, which has my sleeping bag. I sleep cold, so you know what? I've got to be bundled up when I sleep. I go to bed hot and then I sleep. This is that's actually just my haversack. It just clipped on pretty decent up there, and I'm gonna rock it out. This quick track that I got here from Toe Peak, I got it. This is the best part. I got it at the Goodwill. They thought it was a lunchbox. I got it for $5. When I got it at the time, the thing was worth $100. So I'm not complaining. Of course, sporting the wood life.
And do you really think you're gonna need this? It's 40 degrees out.
It's staying, dude. Most of you guys, I brought a different sleep system, and I'm gonna explain why I did that. And this right here is on there for a story. So you're gonna hear a story, but check out, Steve, what brand is this here? What does that say? Rosswell? Those are pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, those are pretty sweet. All right, guys, well, we've done enough chit-chatting. It's time for us to get out of here. You can see my wheel very well there. I'm rocking out a Cyclops tire. These are 26-inch tires. They're I think they're 2.4 inches wide. About as wide as I can get on this bike for a smooth rolling tire. So pretty excited about it. Pretty excited. I've had these tires for, geez, 5 years. Not a single issue with them. Here's our surroundings. Not much. It's gonna be dark, so we'll be back. What's up, hood rat?
Sorry to ask if you were talking to me or your camera.
Oh, I wasn't talking at all.
No, earlier.
Oh, I was talking to my camera. I was talking about my Cyclops tires. The things we do for adventure as we wait for traffic. Get 'em, boys, get 'em. Get 'em, boys. Gonna give you a turn off. Come over here. Got the old helmet off. I'm gonna give you a turn off. I just hold this. And she goes off there. Okay, let's see here. Where are we going to hang? That tree is way too big. That tree is way too dead. Huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna see if that cocoon.
You didn't bring a sleeping pad? Oh, you brought, that's right.
I'm gonna see if my cocoon.
I'm ready to check that sucker out. Oh yeah. Say hello, beautiful. You're on YouTube.
It jumped on your face.
Look at his eyes glowing. That's cool. We'll leave him be though, because he's probably gonna want to bite me later. So hey, I'm gonna literally be like right next to you, man. Are you? Do you have? Did you bring a tarp? Are you using a tarp tonight?
Yeah. I know it's gonna freaking rain.
I know. We might end up being too close then if I put my tarp here.
Well, I was gonna have my opening going that way, but since you're right here, it's like, wait a minute.
We can.
I have to do it because I put my things.
Yeah.
Down. I guess I got
Ooh, look at the size of that sucker. All the cool stuff comes out at night. So this is how I rolled in here today. I've got my heavy cover canteen kit up here. This is the Molly 2 canteen pouch. And then I've got, it was raining on us a little bit. This is the Molly 2 waist pack. So what I did was, it just snaps on here. You can see here, it just snaps. Pretty simple, but I've got my sleep set up in here. I've got my hammock, I've got my slings, my tarp, and my hammock, and then I've also got the E&O the Guardian bug net. Opening up the trunk bag. I've got the Stasha in there, tarp, emergency tarp in case I need it. Where's the zipper? There it is. And here I'm keeping some important stuff. Some clothes, sleeping clothes, some thermals if need be. Keeping a thermal on. You know, they say this adds about 10 degrees to your sleeping bag. I might actually need that tonight. Who knows? And I'm going to be using my Nemo Cosmo. It's insulated, the Light 20R. It's pretty good. I've had it for, how long have I had this thing now? Over a year.
Which one is it?
My Nemo?
The little pop-up thing?
Yeah, I've had it for over a year now. I got it for cold weather camping. It's supposed to drop down into the 40s tonight. They say we might get our actual first. Yeah, well, Maria, my wife, has told me we might actually get our first frost tonight. So that's interesting. It's been my experience that if you ever bring a rain tarp, you should always bring another smaller tarp because you never know when you're going to need it. I brought the Snug Pack Stasha. I like this little guy. Good reason why I have it right now is because I need to air up this, my sleeping pad, and I have to have a flat surface to do it in. And I don't want to put it in the mud because that would just ruin my stuff. There we go. It's got a nice valve here. The thing is that the print is actually starting to come off. The directions. That's all you do. It'll air it up. It's gonna take a little while though. So I'm just using my cheap sleeping bag tonight, but it's rated for 50 degrees, and I tell you what, it's a cheap compression sleeping bag, but I really like it. It's super comfortable. And I only paid $14 for it last fall. Excusez-moi. Check out this board we found. Actually, I didn't find it, I tripped over it. It found me. Yep, that's how I found it. So here are the sleeping quarters tonight. I'm using the E&O Guardian bug net. I've got my, oh, it's inside out, my Grand Trunk. This is a double hammock. And then I've just got my Nemo Cosmo light 20R insulated sleeping pad. And then I've got a 50-degree sleeping bag. I have a Thermalon, which I'll bring in here with me if I need it. I can always get into Thermalon. That's supposed to add 10 to 15 degrees onto your sleep system. So if you look down the E&O Guardian net, what it does is it actually cocoons you and keeps the bugs completely off of you all the way around. They're not going to come up and bite you from underneath. They're not going to eat you from the top. I have my sleeping pad touching this, but as soon as I get in, this will bow. And when I've slept in this, I've never got a mosquito bite. Brings you to the reason why I'm using this thing. When Steve and I went out last time, I was sleeping in my Grand Trunk skeeter beater. On a skeeter beater, there's no netting underneath you under here. So I slipped off my sleeping pad, and it was about 80 plus degrees in the middle of the night. I woke up at 1 o'clock in the morning in absolute pain. I had slipped off my, I was using a Thermarest sleep pad, and my shoulders were actually bare on the bottom of my hammock, and I didn't have this type of netting. Now, Steve has got, well, he has this covered up, but the top of the skeeter beater is this, the bottom is this, okay? There's nothing to protect you from the bugs. Let's just say that I woke up in so much pain, I hopped out of my hammock and I turned on my headlamp and I went like this and looked underneath my hammock. All the way underneath my hammock was completely covered in mosquitoes, and they were all full of blood. My blood. I had over 300 mosquito bites. So I decided I'm going to retire the skeeter beater for the summer in the hot nights, and I'm going to use this. I mean, I have this set up, why not use it, right? And I'll bring the skeeter beater back because I do like it. I'll bring the skeeter beater back in the colder weather. And you know, the nylon or the no-seam material on the skeeter beater does actually help keep some of the heat in. It may sound silly, but if you've ever slept in one, you'd completely understand what I'm talking about. All right, sleep system is up. I'm gonna throw my, I'm gonna put my net on top, my net. I'm gonna put my tarp on top. There's our tree of discombobulated cords. Discombobulated cords. All right, guys, so I've got the Funky Forest tarp up from Grand Trunk. That's my my tarp I'm using. I've got it lower on this side because when you come under here, you'll see we are close together. So with his NEC Hammock Hex tarp, the way he's set out, I'm just coming straight down. Not too tight. When I go to bed tonight, since I have to get in this side, I'll cinch this down a little bit more snug, but as it sits right now, we're good. Steve's over here. What are you setting up over here, man?
I'm done setting up.
Oh, locking up the bike?
Now I'm just getting stuff out and
Well,
settling in.
he's settling in. The thing I'm gonna have to do is get my food situated. All right, ham and bean soup. So I went to Cabela's and I was gonna get a backpacker's pantry meal, or I was gonna get a dehydrated meal, right? And nothing looked appealing, nothing looked appetizing. I was done. And I had known that at home I had just made a big pot of some spicy ham and bean soup. So I watched a couple videos on YouTube on how to dehydrate a whole soup. Kind of learned some tricks of the trade, stuff like that. And I did it. So now is the burning question, is it going to be any good?
Yeah, I'm going to put some hash browns that I didn't use last week in my skillet.
Got hash brown, Steve?
Did you end up bringing some?
No, Steve, I didn't get any hash browns. I've been craving hash browns, but I did not get any.
I know you were talking about them all
Oh, I know. Rocking out the firebox tonight. I'll be able to feed it. I honestly probably don't want to fill much more than that, because once that starts to rehydrate, that might be a lot. So let's see. We'll do it like that first, just to begin with. Make sure that water's all just barely over the top of the stuff. Let's see, better view of that. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna let this soak here, and I'm gonna go get my fire prepared. All right. Tonight, since everything's dry, wet, damp, it's definitely gonna get help from an Esbit cube. Why not? I have wet fire in my bag. I just don't want to dig it out. I want to save the wet fire for when I really, really need it. And I have a whole pack of Esbit cubes that I just recently bought, so what's one? Going for a good cause is what it's doing. Alright. That ham is definitely looking better. Man, that's amazing. I just can't believe it looked like jerky. Fire's coming along. It's not quite ready to cook yet, so. But I am enjoying it because it's actually getting kind of chilly out, so. Feels good. What we got going on here tonight? I've got my phone. I've got some extra ham and bean soup. Got my Baco Laplander. Got my Forester 2 from XXX Knives. My Expedition Fatty. Of course, I've got my heavy cover. I'm wearing this little gem right here. This is the Eka cord blade. This is the W9. It's a, see if I can move you around here a little bit. It's a really nice little blade. It's a real fun little blade, you know that? It's just a fun knife. Sitting here admiring the bike. Steve's over there cooking. He's got his headlamp on. There's our setups over there. There's Steve-O's bike. It's become the camp kitchen for me over here. So I'm gonna move my fatty back just because I don't want that mesh to burn. Soothing. Yeah. Show you Steve's little stove he's using tonight. This is that, what do they call it? It's the Esbit. Is it the Esbit Ultralight?
What's this, the Esbit Titanium? It could be Ultralight, I don't know. Can't remember. It's been too long.
It's just a little stand.
Here, I'll take it off real quick. Works great.
Unless you're gonna go put a can of chili on top of it.
We'll see.
Are you gonna put the can on there? Or are you gonna try it?
Yeah, I will. I'll just get my water going first.
Would you cook anything in your titanium other than water?
Nope. Only water. I don't know why. I couldn't imagine cooking like chili in here and then water. I mean, yeah, it would clean out and everything, it would be fine, but it's just something I think about, I guess. I don't know.
I always cook in mine.
I've got other ones that I do, but it's just I put water in the other one.
Yeah, we're wild and crazy. We're not out drinking beer. We're out drinking Snapple. That's right, Snapple. Let's take a look at this. Holy crap. Look at that. Yeah. I'm gonna have to probably add more water to it here soon. I'm gonna stick the heavy cover right here on the end so I can still get to the handle and not scorch myself. I'm gonna let the fire go down a little bit because this soup needs to cook nice and slow. I'm gonna put it right next to the stove though. I'm gonna just mainly try to cook it on coals. It looks like that's gonna be my best bet. I don't want. This is a test, you know, anyway, so I'm gonna be able to cook it nice and slow because the ham is not all the way hydrated yet. Some of it is. Carrots are looking good. Carrots are coming back, but it's got a ways to go still. It's got a ways to go. You can see I'm just cooking on a bed of coals. Just trying to keep it hot, but not too hot. It's coming along pretty good. So I've got this cool thing here, if I've showed it off very much, but this is my pocket bellows. It's really cool. Works like a charm. It's just one of those cool things that we like to have when we're fiddling around or fooling around with fire. It's neat. You could probably make one out of a car antenna, but it's a cool company. You know, I bought it because I was intrigued for one, and it's made heavier duty than just a car antenna. So yeah, you could use one from an old radio control car or something like that, but it's not going to be this. It's not going to be the bellows. It's cool. See, I keep doing this here. I want to make sure that I'm not going to cook any of the soup onto the bottom of my canteen cup, so I'm just swirling around, make sure it doesn't burn. I am just cooking just on a little more than ember, so I've got a small flame in there, but it still has a ways to go. I mean, look at the carrots. They're still somewhat dehydrated. The ham's not even ready. So it's going to suck out a lot of this moisture, but problem is it's going to grow. I've only got that much more to go before I'm out of canteen room, so I may have put too much in here. But we're going to stick to our guns and we're going to keep going. So we've only been at it for about 15 minutes, so not too bad. I should probably, in doing this, put them in water and literally let them soak while I set up camp. You know, this is one of those lessons learned type thing, but that way by the time I'm done setting up camp, it should be somewhat more hydrated, and then I can bring it to a boil and start cooking. But, you know, that's how we do it. So we'll just keep on keeping on. Alright, so we just did a FaceTime, or a FaceTime, baby. So we just did a Facebook Live kind of video. Nothing spectacular, just really hanging out, waiting for this ham and bean soup here to finish. And my fire's since gone out. The soup is done. I'm letting it just sit there right now. But let's do the first bite rule, baby. First bite rule. I'll take my headlamp off here. And I'll bring it over here. Because, well, you gotta see me too. How I'm gonna manage this. How I'm gonna manage this. Okay, we're back. Let you get a look here. Wow, looks good, doesn't it? Looks good. It probably could rehydrate a little longer, but the meat is no longer jerky looking, it's pink. And the tomatoes are tomatoes and the carrots are orange, so they're no longer looking blood red. I forgot how spicy it gets, man. When you let it sit. Now, this was a spicy ham and bean soup, so it's really spicy. It's good. Ooh. But it's hot, both hot. Hot temperature and spicy hot. So I'm thinking this and I've said it already before, I'm thinking that when I come here, or when I come to camp, if I'm having a dehydrated meal, I need to get that set up right away. Get that set up, get that set over into the side, get my shelter and everything else set up, so that way when I am done, then I can see how far on the hydration process my food is, or the rehydration process, and then go from there. To me, the time that it takes is worth it because it's cheaper. It's my own cooking, not somebody else's, so I don't know what, you know, they're putting in it. I know what's in that. I know that it's not loaded with a bunch of garbage, and it's good. It's really good. It definitely beats having a mountain house. Yeah, it's just the time. I just gotta tweak that timing a little bit, which I think I can manage, like I said, by coming here and setting that up first. I mean, my cook kit's on the front of the bike anyway, so it's not like I can't get that going. And not everything that I cook will be as dense and as thick and time consuming as far as the rehydration process as a ham and bean soup. There's a lot of things in there. There's a lot of variables in there that make it a thick soup stew. So, all right, well, I'm gonna eat this and we'll be back at you. Here's Steve's garbage. Steve always he always carries this stuff out. He's got another little ditty bag he uses. He'll fill it up when we go to leave in the morning. So that's where the beast is going to be sleeping at tonight, right underneath us. I put my helmet in a dry bag because it rains on us. I could care less about the rest of the bags. Are all waterproof except for this one, but there's nothing there that's really going to get damaged except for my XXX knife, but that doesn't stay in there anyway. That'll hang right next to me in my hammock because she's my baby. I don't want anything to happen to her. And I've also got on, if you look down here and see that, I don't know if I can, there you go. I'm using the, I'm wearing the Eka cord blade W9. It's another one of my favorite blades. I've got about 4 favorite blades that I really enjoy. Obviously the XXX knives. That was a gift to me from my buddy Craig. Most of you guys all know him as Forrest Walker 111. But just an awesome guy. Put my dishes away. Just an awesome guy. And yeah, I have not done a review on that knife yet. I don't even think I'll be able to do a review that'll give it the justice that it really deserves. You know what this bottle's gonna be? Yep, a sleep extender. If any of you know what a sleep extender is. And if you don't, ask somebody who hammock camps. So I've got my clothes here. I'm going to change into my clothes. This is really important. If you're not used to sleeping in cold weather, change clothes. Okay, when you go to bed, your clothes, they hold all the moisture in from everything you've been doing. When you go to get into your hammock, you go to get in your tent, you can get the chills and you're not going to get rid of them. Be super tired in the morning, and you know, it's just not good. It's just a bad situation. And there's a lot of things also go to the hypothermia and all that other stuff in really cold weather, but we're not going to be dying out here in 40-degree weather, that's for sure. But anyway, yeah, especially what? Oh yeah, change your socks. Yeah, most definitely. I've got, what I have is I have a set of thermals in here and wool socks, merino wool socks. And then down here, I've got a wool beanie I'll sleep in. I don't have much hair My head gets cold extremely easily. So, alright, well, I'll get back with you when we're all snugged up in our bed. And I'm grabbing my headphones too because Steve purrs like a kitten.
What?
I think because Steve purrs like a kitten. I'm getting my headphones because Steve purrs like a kitten and he sleeps. Good morning. It is 3. What time is it, Steve? 3:30 a.m. It's time to go. I slept like a baby. Really, really good. Steve said that his cocoon worked out really well. He says further testing is needed, so we'll see. Alright. Didn't get packed. Yep.